Coach, 2025 is around the corner. How are you feeling ahead of the season?
Man, you feel like we just ended last year. We're jumping in. I'm excited about this team that we've put together. Got a lot of high hopes, a lot of potential. But preseason awards, preseason honors are great for a lot of our guys. But now we get to go out and perform. We got an opportunity in front of us in a great conference to go out and do something that hadn't been done at the Division I level at UNA. So really excited going into this year.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the team that's kind of built together. For me, it seems like a lot of pretty big veteran core. How, in these off-season workouts, has that kind of shown? And talk about that leadership mentality for guys.
You know, going into year 3, I've done a lot of stepping back and getting out of the way this offseason. We've really challenged our junior and senior leaders. Hey, this is your team now. And I've got to watch guys like the 2 guys we brought here today with Heatherly and Jyheam Ingram that are seniors and juniors. You know, we've got some older guys with Ari Patu at quarterback. Gage Saints, our center on our team for 4 years now. So we've got a lot of older guys that need to take bigger roles on this football team, and they've done that this offseason. So it's been fun to watch. Less coach oriented, but more player oriented team this year.
You talk about this preseason awards and stuff. I know last year y'all ended 3-9. You guys are ranked 7th in the preseason coaches poll. Do you see that as a challenge, kind of fuel that adds to the fire there?
Absolutely. You know, I want to start the preseason every year at the bottom of the poll because the preseason poll means nothing. The only poll that matters is the postseason one. So we use it as motivation. It'll probably be thrown up in the locker room somewhere. But I think our guys are attacking this year with the right kind of mindset. You know, they know we were close in a lot of games. We were the only team in our league last year that beat the conference champion. Big win at home last year against Abilene. So they know they've got the ability to do it. Now you just got to have the consistency to do it every week.
Coach, you're heading into your 3rd year. Have you thought about what this year means for you personally?
You know, year 1 or year 3 or year 7, whatever year it is, I want to win. And we haven't done enough winning. We've done some good things. We've taken some good steps, but at the end of the day, you got to win football games. We get judged based off of winning games, and so we need to win more. We know that. Our fans know that. Our players know that. So we got to go out and we got to just take care of business.
I know you have a pretty exciting season upcoming, but next season for you guys got a new home coming up. You have a lot of newcomers into the conference. Can you talk about that with the new stadium? I see you've been posting on social media as well about that.
Yeah, newness is really good. It helps our current players. When you can walk out of your weight room or locker room every day and you see big steel beams being risen up in the air and digging a big hole in the ground for our new turf that's about to start going down. It's exciting for the new guys on the team, but it's a big deal in recruiting. When I can talk to a high school senior or junior, send them pictures, bring them on campus and let them see a stadium where for so many years they talked about a stadium in Florence, Alabama, but now you actually get to see the stadium. And kids like new. They like the new shiny thing. So it really helps our team mindset, our culture we got right now, but it helps us big time in recruiting.
And going back to on-field play, you've been able to kind of see this team work in spring and obviously in those off-season workouts. Is there a group that fans should have their eyes on this year?
You know, we had 3 senior receivers this past season that are all departing. So that was probably the biggest room that we had to go out and either develop the guys that we had or we had to go find some guys. And it's been a little bit of both. You know, we've got a few transfers in the receiver room. We've got a few guys that a Huntsville guy, KJ Fields, will have a bigger role this year. Out of Bob Jones, Tanaka Scott was a big receiver for us last year. They'll have a bigger role this year. You'll see our tight end, Kaleb Headley, a lot more in the passing game this year. So I think guys that are catching the football, it's just going to be new. If I'm not highlighting them for any other reason, then it's going to be a lot of new faces in that room.
Coach, back for year 3, you have to do something for the first time at UNA. That's replaced some of your coaching staff. Kind of talk about the new additions to your staff this season.
You know, I think it's one of the best staffs I've ever been around. We've got a lot of, we brought some wisdom in, and usually wisdom relates to older guys. And I've got Coach Craig Schurig is our quarterback coach. Coach Schurig has been a head coach at the college level for 22 years. So there's a lot of things that head coaching decisions, it may not even be quarterback play, that I'm able to bounce off of him and have great ideas and be a sounding board for me. Bringing back a UNA legend, an Athens high school coach with Coach Steve Carter. Just the everyday vibe, the hard-working mentality that he brings every day has been huge for us. So those two guys probably upped our average age on our staff a little bit, but also was able to bring in some younger guys with Mike Johnson, one of the best players in UNA football history, coaching running backs. KJ May is a Mobile native, so it's helped us out in Mobile in recruiting, but played receiver, played quarterback in high school, so he sees the big picture of the game, relates well to our players. But probably the best experience for me was hiring DeAndre Irvin. DeAndre Irvin was a player at Arkansas Tech for me. I recruited him, and just a fireball. Comes out to practice every day with tons of energy. Will kind of be the energy, the spark plug this team needs. So really good staff we've put together.
You kind of mentioned the returners with him. Talk about kind of the newcomers you have on the team as well this season.
You know, in the receiver room, a guy that our fans will see early is Justin Pegues. Pegues was a guy that we actually played against at Tennessee Tech my first year here. Was a running back slot from Thompson High School down in Birmingham, Alabama. This past year he transferred to Bowling Green and was an all-MAC return man as a punt returner and kick returner. So fans are going to see him early returning kicks, but also we'll see him in the slot, see him move around. We brought in some defensive linemen that are going to make immediate impacts with BJ Diacotti, another Birmingham area guy, transfer from Vanderbilt, defensive end. Jamari Payne is a transfer from Purdue that's a Auburn, Alabama area guy, bringing him back home to the state. And then Lance Bassett is a defensive tackle we brought in from Kansas. So I think our D-line is going to have a lot of new faces on it, but be able to make an impact early.
And what can we kind of expect from the offenses?
You know, we got to get consistent quarterback play. I'd say my 2 years being here, we've been one or two plays away in a couple games. You go back to, we had a chance to beat Illinois State at home last year. We're throwing the ball into the end zone as time's expiring. We had a red zone turnover early in that game that really cost us. We had a lead against UT Martin. We had a chance at UCA last year where we threw, I think, 5 interceptions last year against UCA. So I think if our quarterback play is more consistent, we'll have an opportunity to get more wins.
On the flip side, defensively, what can we expect from that unit?
You know, we got to find some guys that's going to step up and be that leadership role. Where you look at last year's team, we had Greg Reddick, who's been a 2-year stud for us at safety. Jackson Bratton. Both guys are no longer a part of the team that moved on, graduated, and have day jobs now. So we got to find guys that can step up in those leadership roles on the defensive side of the ball. I think we're going to have them, but you don't know until the bullets start firing. So we've got to create stressful situations this year in fall camp, so we can put those guys in those situations before we get to game 1 at Western Kentucky.
And like I asked the players, what is one message you have for Lions fans this season?
I think you're going to see a different style of play. I think a lot of people are used to us having halftime leads, and now we got to finish. Finish has been a big word for us this offseason, where I think in our 12 games last year, we probably had a lead in at least 9, maybe even 10 of those games. So finishing them off from Eastern Kentucky, the last game of the year, having a lead with a minute left to go in the game, it's been a big deal for us to just finish it.
And we're in Nashville. Fun question here. We're in Nashville. You voiced how you like country music before. Your favorite country music?
Growing up, man, I don't think you could beat Garth Brooks when I was a kid. I went to a Garth Brooks concert in Mobile. That was kind of a small concert where only like 250 people were there. It was just him and a guitar, didn't even have his band with him, acoustic show. And I'll never forget that night. And I can remember having the Garth Brooks Greatest Hits CD in my CD player back in the day. So I'd say Garth Brooks is the guy I listen to the most.
I'm going to ask one more question real quick. You're good, right? Yeah. Ask one more question. 5-6 weeks away from week 1 at WKU, what's left for you guys to get those final preparations in?
Oh, it's barely even started. You know, we've done so much without helmets on the last 6-7 weeks in the summer. Now with the new age of college football, there's so many kids on our team that's never taken a snap at UNA now. So we've got to determine quickly in the next 2 weeks of fall camp, 3 weeks of fall camp, who can help us, and we got to figure it out pretty quickly. You know, last year we had a couple freshman All-Americans with a linebacker and an offensive lineman, and you don't expect freshmen to play early, but you never know. So we got to figure out pretty quickly who's going to be ready to go and play in that environment week 1.
Lots of decisions to make.
What's that?
Lots of decisions to make.
A lot of decisions to make. You know, a lot of times I get asked who the starting quarterback is. I get asked a lot of those type questions, and we don't even know yet. figuring those things out. We've got a lot of great options. We got a lot of potential, but potential means nothing if you don't do anything with that potential built-up energy. So we've got to determine a lot of positions moving forward.
Thanks, Coach.
You all good? 2025 season just around the corner. How are you feeling ahead?
I'm feeling great. I feel like we've had a great summer so far. A lot of guys improving and maturing, and really just bonding as a team. He said it earlier. I think this is one of the close-knitted teams that I've been on since I've been in high school. So I'm looking forward to seeing how we flourish and go out throughout how we play this season.
When I look at the team, I was talking about it with Kaleb. It looks like a lot of a veteran core. Can you talk about how that helps, maybe with a leadership perspective, and how you've seen it kind of in these off-season workouts?
It's been real great because everybody's a leader, so everybody knows the standard and what to expect. And we have a lot of new guys that came in, so nurturing them to the culture and getting them up to standard has really helped us out so far.
And this year you guys are, I would imagine you guys are looking to improve from last year, 3-9. The coach's poll has you guys tied for 7th. What's in your head when you look at that? Is that a challenge for you?
To me, it's nothing but fuel. That's something you hang on the lockers. You tap it in the locker room every day, remind them this is what people think of you. So you go out there and you prove them wrong every time.
For you, do you have any personal goals heading into the season?
I don't. I just want to win. I want to be a champion here, and I think that this is a great season to do it because it's the last season in Brawley.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that real quick. Next year, you guys will be in a new home. How exciting is that for you? And also, just about next season as well, it's going to be a whole different look for the UAC. What do you see?
Well, first off, it's exciting for me because I have family members that played in that stadium. I played in that stadium growing up too, so it's like backyard football for me. And I'll be one of the first ones to play in the new stadium, so that's a true blessing.
Are you excited to see the new members in the conference next year as well?
I am. The conference realignment is something that really piqued my interest. I think it's going to be great.
So, Jyheam, you get to wear number 44 again this season. That, of course, honors UNA Hall of Famer Ron McKinnon. What is that like? How has that been to you?
It's an honor because one of the things that our defensive coordinator, Kaleb, preaches is that you play for the name, not only on the back but the front. But I take it to a different level because now I'm also playing for the number that I represent. That number means something to these people. I see somebody, they ask me what number I wear. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's Ronald McKinnon's number." I'm like, "Yeah, that's how I got the number." So it's just a great privilege to wear that number.
So, in your words, what can we expect from the Lion defense this season?
Tough, fast, gritty, and we've seen flashes of the old Purple Swarm, but I think this is the year that we really embed on that Purple Swarm trademark.
All right, last season you had a scuba score against Utah Tech. What was that like?
Now that's a core memory. Sometimes I catch myself going back and watching the video. My mom talks about it all the time. It's a great feeling, and my family has the privilege to come to all the games because I'm from here, so it was just great.
So, final football question, like I asked Kaleb, what is your message to Lion fans?
Get in while you can right now because we're taking off this year. Get ready to roar.
Sure. All right. One fun question. Your go-to meal. What is it?
My go-to meal? I go steak. Y'all gonna get on me. I like my steak well done, a little chewy. Well done steak with green beans and mashed potatoes.
I got one more question
All
for you. Coach is heading into his 3rd season with the Lions. How has he kind of helped you as a player, and can you talk about his leadership of the team?
Well, besides from this being my hometown, Coach Dearmon is probably the main reason that I came to UNA. And just seeing him develop players, me, develop everything, he knows what he wants, he knows how to do it. And I have fun working with him every day.
Great. Kaleb, 2025 season is just around the corner. How are you feeling ahead of the new year?
I'm very excited. Over this summer we faced a lot of adversity, and I feel like this is the closest together team that we've had since I've been here, and I'm just really excited to see what happens this fall.
When you say adversity, can you dive into that?
We've created the hardest workouts that we've ever had, the hardest team runs, and our guys have really persevered and pushed through a lot of stuff, and I'm just really excited.
I know last year, 3-9 record, the preseason coaches poll came out today, had you guys tied for 7th. Do you see that kind of as a challenge to say, hey, we're
I think the guys look at it and we're just really like astounded and we're ready to push forward and prove people wrong. And we're just ready to do it for our fans because we have the best fans around and they support us and we owe it to the fans to win.
When I look at this group, you guys have more of a veteran core this year. Can you talk about that and kind of in those workouts, how that's kind of made an effect?
We've seen a lot of guys who have stepped up into new leadership roles and more vocal leaders, and if we see something that's not right, we'll fix it.
A lot of change is going to be happening next year for you, and especially in the conference, and also a new stadium for you guys next year. Does that bring excitement to what's going to happen on the field for the team?
It's very exciting to know that you got a new stadium coming, and it's also very exciting to know that we're going to be the last team to play at Brawley Stadium with all the legendary players and legendary teams that have been at UNA, and I'm just honored to be a part of Brawley Stadium and its history.
Do you have any personal goals for yourself this year?
No, sir.
All right, Kaleb, you played in all 34 games in your college career, started all 12 last year. How is that experience helping you in this season?
I think it's grown me as a leader, and I can push my teammates around me to be better just using my experience and history playing college football.
Sure. You, like he said, veteran group on offense, 7 starters returning this year. How important is it to have guys like that back?
I think it's important because we can help the young guys who haven't had experience to grow as players each game and each practice, and we know what needs to be done the right way to win.
Last season, you caught your first career touchdown against Utah State. How'd that feel?
It felt amazing. You know, I didn't know how to feel about it at first. My teammates kind of had some celebrations in mind, but in the end, we just had fun, and hopefully I can get some more this year.
Yeah. Final football question I have for you. What is one message as a player you have to Lions fans this season?
We're going to have a lot of fun this year, and we're going to be a fun team to watch, and I'm just really excited.
Sure. All right. One fun question. I heard you like video games. What's your favorite game to play?
My favorite game of all time is probably Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
A big cowboy kind of guy.